Yeah, I'm back in the truck, and you know what that means. I'm picking up another game. And don't even say it. I know what you're thinking. Charlie, didn't you just pick up 6 more projects from a warehouse raid last weekend? Charlie, don't you have a garage of projects you haven't gotten to yet? I get it. I understand. You're absolutely right. I wasn't planning on doing a pickup video today. You know, I was hoping for the video this weekend to be the finale of the Cubert project, the Cubert that I'm restoring for Back to the Media Arcade, opening soon in Winchester, Virginia. I'm almost done. I probably need 2 really good nights to finish up everything. We're getting close. But I wasn't going to be able to get that done in time for this weekend. You know, I release my videos typically on Sunday afternoons, which means that they have to be ready for channel members only early access on Saturdays, which means I really need to wrap up things on Fridays to get the video edited and whatever, so that it can be ready for members only early access on Saturdays, and then, you know, the public release on Sundays. And yeah, it's Thursday, and I need 2 more days to get this project done. I was down in Virginia Beach today. I had to give a talk for work at an event. I live in Northern Virginia, so Virginia Beach is like 4 hours each way. No problem. I can do that in a day. But what that meant was I'm losing tonight as a night to work on games because I'll be home late. And my kids have games on, football games on Friday. So there's no way I can get the Cubert done in order to edit the video and get that out for this weekend. So we're calling it audible. The other thing, when I'm driving like this, and I travel, a fair amount for work, not that much, but whenever possible, I drive and I take my truck and I check Facebook Marketplace in the areas that I'm going to expand my search for games beyond my normal, search radius. And this game popped up the other day. It's very interesting. I'm on my way to go grab it. And I'm not exactly sure what this game is. So I know it's a Sega cabinet. It's been converted, and the game that it's been converted to is pretty cool. It's actually Tighe's favorite game. If you know Tighe, Uncle Tighe, this is his favorite game apparently. But I'm not entirely sure what this cabinet was originally. Definitely a Sega game. There's maybe 3 different options of what it might be. It's either a Zaxxon, and if it's a Zaxxon, I'm not super excited, and I'll leave it as a converted game. It could also be a Sega cabinet. This is a cabinet that looks a lot like Zaxxon, and basically Sega sold them to be swapped out with different kits that Sega sold. So, a little bit like the Versus system, but you are swapping out the entire PCB, not just a ROM change or anything like that. So it could be a converted game. There's lots of cool converted cab games from Sega. It could also be a dedicated cabinet. A dedicated Sega game in that same cabinet that's neither Zaxxon nor converted cab. It could have been sold as one of those games. So we're gonna go and find out what it is. So that should be a lot of fun. So why don't we go grab this game, bring it home, and see what we got.
Overtime!
Well, I'm home, and I may have made a tiny, huge mistake. So I got the first cabinet that I was planning on getting. Everything's fine. It was working. It is such a heavy monster, but I got it. And a couple other things happened. So I ended up going to that second pickup, and I've got it on the truck, and I'm not going to do that as a separate video. This is all going to be the same video. But that's actually down here. And then there's another game right here. So there's actually 3 games on the truck right now. 1, 2, 3. And believe it or not, these 2 are the same game. So not at all what I expected, and this may be a mistake, but let me get these off the truck and in the garage, and we'll take a look at what we got. All right, this is not at all what I was expecting, but I can explain what happened. So this right here, this is the cabinet I was planning on picking up in this episode, in this video. This is the cabinet that I was heading to when I recorded the intro to this video. Surprise, it's a Rastan, okay? Or Rastan, or however you pronounce this. It's a game by Tighe, a conversion kit, released, like it says right there, in 1987. A JAMA conversion game in this cabinet. Rastan's a really cool game. It's kind of a little bit like Legendary Axe on TurboGrafx 16. A little bit like, you know, Castlevania, hack and slash, side scroller, you know, power up weapons, that sort of thing. And like I mentioned, this is apparently Ty's favorite game of all time. So shout out to Ty Laurie. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. And yeah, this works. It has a few, let's say, interesting modifications. That right there, that interlock switch is actually a credit button. We have a hinge on the outside because how are you going to keep this thing closed if you've put an interlock switch as a credit button on the lock? So because the lock is what holds this closed, so now that little sort of latch is what holds it closed, like a bathroom stall at a gas station. And that right there on the side is actually a power switch. So yeah, interesting. You know, and this is, like I said, a Sega cabinet, Sega Gremlin cabinet. This thing is £1 million. And, you know, when I went to go pick this up, very, very rural part of Virginia, deep in the woods, down a long, unpaved road with sort of a private bridge without sort of shoulders or sides or railings on it. And I get there, and the seller standing there, shirtless. The game is just inside of an old barn that has no power, and he's got an extension cord running from a pickup truck, under the hood of a pickup truck, running into this barn to run this game and power it up. So he was running it off of the alternator or whatever, I'm not entirely sure. Some sort of generator hooked up to that car, so inverter hooked up to that car. Very interesting. You're not really supposed to do that, especially, you know, you're not supposed to hook up a CRT to a system like that. We've got some channel members, I think it was Matt, SNES Cube 64, that was messing with that recently. But yeah, this thing works. I saw it working. The monitor fires up right away, plays just fine, so that's great. We got this thing loaded up. It was raining, drizzling a little bit. It's been absolutely torrential rain for weeks and weeks, and now we got the remnants of our Hurricane Helene headed our way. And it was the least rainy day when I picked this up, but so I get there, and I'm just trying to get my bearings, and I take one look at the game. Before I can say anything, the seller says, I don't know why it says Zaxxon on the side. So yeah, unfortunately, or yeah, fortunately, depending on your vantage point, this was originally a Zaxxon converted to Rastan. So not a Converticab, not a Sega Vector, not a TAC-SCAN, not a Zector, nothing like that. This was originally a Zaxxon. So that was a little bit, you know, deflating. Yeah, I was excited that this was maybe something more remarkable than a Zaxxon, but yeah. And if you don't know, Zaxxon is not particularly well regarded by many collectors. Isomorphic, you know, spaceship shooter game by Sega, you know, with a flight stick, and it's incredibly hard and unforgiving and not particularly fun in my opinion. So yeah, this is going to stay as a Rastan, or Rastan, however you say it. And this will almost certainly stay in the garage permanently. I can't see bringing this into the house, into the basement, into the main part of the lineup. You know, I'll clean up the cabinet a little bit, sort of remove these hacks and get it into better shape. But yeah, we'll have a Rastan. And this also is wired for JAMA, and the front door flips open so we can access the JAMA PCB and swap out different ones. You know, but it's only got a single 8-way joystick and 2 action buttons, so kind of limited in the games you can put into it. But yeah, that'll be fine for now. And so what happened over here was, as we're loading this thing up, I asked the guy, you know, the magic question that you always need to ask whenever you're buying a game. I asked him, do you have anything else for sale? Not that I needed anything, not that I wanted anything, but you always need to ask that question just in case they've got some sort of gem. And the guy's like, yeah, I got a little Pac-Man machine somewhere. Let me go see if I can dig that thing out. And in my mind, I'm thinking, little Pac-Man? Is that like a one-up or something like that?
you know, and as I'm sort of wrapping the Rastan and getting it strapped into my pickup truck, I said, okay, yeah, maybe just go grab a picture or something. I can have it to take a look at it. And sure enough, it's a Pac-Man Mini. So this thing was absolutely buried in the garage, covered in filth, you know, largely disassembled and just sort of in the back of this, in this barn that had no power, no lights. So we were using like the flashlights on our phones to take a look at it. And he's like, make me an offer. And I threw him a super low ball because I could not tell, you know, what was like, we weren't inside this thing. All I could see was the outside. The, you know, the bezel wasn't there; it was somewhere else, and the marquee wasn't there. And you know, I didn't know what we were dealing with. So offered him something very, very low, and he seemed happy to take it. So surprise! I got a second game on the truck. We'll dig through this in a little bit and see what's going on. And the ironic thing is, I already had a second pickup planned for the day yesterday, like I was saying in the car, and I was thinking of maybe doing a separate video on that. And the other game I was picking up was this, a second Pac-Man Mini. I did not expect this to be a second Pac-Man. I thought this would be the first one. And then this is just how this stuff happens sometimes. These games find me. And yeah, so this was a listing I had been looking at for a while, being sold by a guy who I think was really more of a pinball collector. And you know, he had this Pac-Man Mini that he was looking to get rid of. It works. There's some weird stuff going on. We'll take a look at it. It's not exactly what you might expect. It's in relatively good shape. You know, it looks like the bottom's chewed up a little bit. And I was worried that, you know, maybe it was water damage or whatever. And this listing was up for a while. This guy only lives about, I don't know, hour and 15, 2 hours away from my house, or 90 minutes away from my house. And yeah, you know, I saw it and I was going to be in his area, and I said, hey, is this thing still available? You know, what can you tell me about it? And I asked him specifically about the base of the cabinet. I'm like, you know, it looks a little chewed up down there. Has that been, you know, maybe just dragged around on a concrete floor without leg levelers? Because there are no leg levelers on this thing, or water damage. And he's like, you know, honestly, it seems really soft. It's probably water damage. And I said, how soft are we talking? He says a 5. And I'm like, okay, is that 5 out of 5, 5 out of 10, or 5 out of 100? And he says 5 out of 10. But so I get there not really expecting too much. And honestly, after having picked up a Pac-Man Mini, which really doesn't seem to have any kind of real, you know, water damage or whatever, it still has its leg levelers. One of them's really messed up and mangled, but it's still got them. You know, I was not exactly, you know, super motivated to bring a second one home, but we get there and it's really actually not too bad. It's all dry. It's not soft or rotted or anything. So if it's water damage, it's old water damage, and it might actually just be from being dragged around on the concrete. And you know, I sort of say, hey, you want to see something funny? And pointed out this in the back of my truck. So he knocked even more off of the cost of this. So I think we got a really good deal here. I saw it working. I played it a little bit. Like I said, a little bit interesting, a little bit different what's going on here. But so yeah, we got 2 working games, a working Rastan and I'm probably saying that differently every time, in a Zaxxon, Rastan in a Zaxxon, working. And we have a working Miss Pac-Man Mini asterisk, and a very much not working, sort of in pieces, but mostly complete second second Pac-Man Mini. So yeah, why don't we, I'll get the tripod set up, we'll dig into these and see what's going on. Okay, since the front of this cabinet opens, I figured it'd be good to start from the front. So this whole piece is on a hinge and will fold down. And I've actually never been inside the bottom of a Zaxxon cabinet like this. So why don't we open it up down here first. Just got some little screws, replacing the lock that's been torn out. And we got some duct tape. There's other remnants of duct tape all over. And there's a screw down here and some sort of grommet. It's really gonna get me down on my hands and knees to see what the coin counter is. All right, looks like 109,976. Wild. We'll ask Professor Pac-Man to do the math for us. It says G5329, which must be that's got to be some kind of asset number. We've got a coin here. This this is a Delaware quarter. So nothing too special there. These Zaxxon cabinets are just so bizarre the way they're constructed. These two split single coin. It's not really a coin door, it's like a coin mech thing. And I'm not entirely sure what that is right there. I'm going to grab, put a glove on real quick. All right, this looks like brown glass. So I do not know what to make of that. And it's broken. A little bit suspicious. All right, I'm going to dispose of that safely. All right, I also washed my hands for good measure. Call me paranoid, but that's the kind of thing where if I saw one of my kids found it at a park or something, I'd be like, don't touch that. So we don't have the coin boxes that sort of go on either side. Again, such a weird, bizarre setup. And there's supposed to be like, I don't know, volume knob or some sort of like test switch stuff down here. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not particularly familiar with the construction of a Zaxxon cabinet. And we'll put that there to hold that in place. And yeah, let's open this up with our bathroom stall latch. And there we go. What do we got here? Okay, we've got some, I don't know what that is, gum or something closing that hole. All right, got our coin mechs. We have a little message here that's dated October 7th, 2019. It says Loretta and Shorty and Katie and Melvin. So I don't recall that being the name of the seller, but yeah, let's see. What do we got going on here? I'll actually bring you in for a closer look. All right, so let's see, some similarities to some Sega cabinets we've seen before. It's got this junction box here that has a fuse and should have that interlock switch, which has been bypassed, I'm assuming. We've got our isolation transformer, big old beefy one, and I'm guessing this is a switching power supply right there, and some sort of, I don't know, amp or something back there. I don't think these are hooked up, but maybe we can see a little bit better from through the back door of the cabinet. We've got a more standard utility panel right there with some switches, and right here we have a manufacturing tag here with our QA check boxes, and yeah, it says right there, whoops, Zaxxon, game Zaxxon, serial number 208273. And then in the back, we have our Rastan PCB, and I'm assuming this is legit. The chips say Tighe on them. It says Tighe on a sticker up there in the corner. The camera doesn't want to pan up. There we go. And yeah, it says Tighe there at the bottom. So this looks like a legit PCB. It is JAMA. So cool. All right, let's, got a huge hole right there. Is that normal? There's a bunch of junk. So let's go around to the back of the cabinet and take a look at it from that perspective. Okay, here's the back side of the cabinet. There's a opening at the top where there's a fan, which is super loud, and a faded sticker that has the same serial number. Very faded, you can barely make it out. And our back door right there. So let's come in like this. There's a single screw holding it in place. It's kind of stubborn. Come on. All right, there we go. Nothing on the inside of the back door right there. And let's see, does this open up like a hinge? I don't think so. I got my flashlight here. Yeah, I don't see a hinge. That would make too much sense for Sega Gremlin. All right, we've got some blocking that's getting pulled apart, so we'll have to address that at some point. We have a K4900 monitor right here. It says manufactured April 1982, so could that possibly be the original monitor? Was Zaxxon still being produced that late? Looks like it's never been worked on, no cap kit or anything, totally original. But like I said, I've seen it working, so that's good. And let's see, we have a orange extension cord being utilized as a power cord. Very much instills me with confidence. Let me come around to the front. And oh yeah, I didn't point out, it's spliced into the power wires here, just with looks like the wires are twisted together and wrapped with painter's tape, which is interesting. And then that goes to this power switch on the side. Wonderful. Yeah, it looks like this switching power supply is what's being used. So isn't that cool? And yeah, there's a ton of stuff at the base of this cabinet. I'm not sure how I'm going to get there to clean it out. That'll be an interesting treasure hunt at some point. But yeah, let me just show you real quick what I'm talking about. All right, so yeah, there's our 4900 right there, and our extension cord is a power cord. And I don't think I can even get you in there to show you what's going on. There's no way to access that cavern from the back door, so there's that hole. I don't know how you even get in down there, but we'll clean that out at some point. Maybe there's buried treasure in there. Okay, on to the next cabinet. Okay, here we can kind of compare and contrast the two Pac-Man minis that we have. This one on the left is the nicer one with the chewed up bottom that I got from my second pickup, and the one on the right is the one that we pulled out of the barn. It's filthy, as you can see. The one in the barn was missing the back door, which the other one does have, and it's got this bump out which protects the neck, which sort of sticks out the back of the cabinet. Terrible design. So I'll need to figure out something with the back door. Find one of these maybe. You know, I can make the back door just out of some plywood, but this is something that you need to protect the cabinet so it doesn't get smashed, or protect the neck of the monitor so it doesn't get smashed up against the wall. We have the nameplate over here, which is missing on this one. We have, it's not completely intact, but we have the, this is a screen that protects the speakers actually right there. This is missing that screen. This has an intact power switch. This power switch is missing sort of the push button to it. But yeah, that's what we've got going on over here. So we'll come in and take a bit of a closer look. Now, a lot of the stuff is missing from the cabinet because we found it loose in the barn. So there is a monitor. We do have a monitor. We'll take a look at that in a second. I put the bezel in place, which is mostly intact. There's a little bit of flaking going on, and it's filthy, but we do have the bezel. This wiring is a total mess. I think this is largely the original wiring right here. Like that looks like that's not a JAMA. That's too small to be a JAMA. That's probably the pack harness. It's been hacked up over time, but yeah, okay, coin mechs are missing. We have the original like dip switch controls right here. It says must be off. I'm not sure what that means. Or that's for switches 7 and 8 must be off. It's handwritten on that. We're missing the manufacturing tag and serial number. Often there's a serial number etched into the wood right here. I don't know if that says 885. It's about as good as I can see. So relatively low serial number. Oh no, 8885. Maybe. Is that 3/8? Or is that a 3? Oh no, that's just dust. Okay. Maybe 885, serial number. Oh no, 884. I think that's what we've got there. I don't know if you can see something different. I'm seeing 884. And yeah, there's the power button that's kind of mangled compared to the good one over here. That flashlight really screws with the levels on this camera. Inside we have a remote board. So this monitor would have come with either, I don't know, like a Geo 7 FBO, 13-inch monitor, Geo 7 FBO, or like a 4500. Isn't that the 13-inch version of the 4600? This has a Vision Pro that I have over on the workbench, and that's the remote board for it, I'm assuming. A lot of garbage in here. We actually pulled out a security camera, like an old school security camera out of this thing. It had just been stored in here. And I guess that's maybe a light back there is a spotlight from the security camera. You got a coffee cup, weird wiring. There's a switching power supply right there. What is that? It's a HAP Power Pro power supply. Looks like the original transformer assembly. Yeah, it's a mess. And this is kind of interesting. We have a JAMA PCB to Pac-Man cabinet adapter. Copyright 2003. If you can look real close there. Copyright 2003 Arcade Shop. So that's interesting. And I'll show you the PCB that we found in this thing in a minute. But this is filthy, so we'll have to go through this at some point. And yeah, this is definitely not in any kind of condition to be powered up and tried, but maybe we can try something with the PCB. Yeah, filthy. Missing the top marquee bracket, missing a button. I don't think this is correct. Isn't this what the button's supposed to look like? With the red push part with the white surround. We got a joystick. This is kind of funny. It looks like, you know, there is a control panel overlay that goes onto the metal control panel. You can see it on both of these cabinets here. And it's painted. This has been scuffed up a little bit, but it's still there. It's like a silkscreen painting, I'm guessing silkscreen on the front. And it was worn off so much over here that they tried to touch it up. And it almost looks like somebody used a Sharpie to paint on the eyebrows of the monsters, of the ghosts. We've got a coin door here. It's missing one of the rivets, or I guess the rivets got replaced with little Phillips head screws. It's supposed to be riveted, like you see right here. So that's kind of funny. Maybe one was stolen at one point. It's been a little pried right there. And yeah, that's what we got going on. This piece of wood doesn't look original, but I don't see any kind of coin counter. Can't remember if there's supposed to be one inside of this cabinet. Maybe it's supposed to be mounted on the inside of the coin door, but I don't see it. A couple different spots. It's got in silver Sharpie written unit 300. So I don't know, was this in like an auction or something like that? This cabinet really doesn't look bad at all. It's in decent shape. One thing I've sort of noticed is it looks like we got 2 layers of wood grain on the side here. So I believe this is the original wood grain, and then there's a very thin piece of laminate, of wood grain laminate over the top, and that's been sort of peeled off, and you can see it's kind of separating there. So I don't know what we're going to do with that, but yeah. So there's our first of 2 Pac-Man cabarets, Pac-Men multi mini packs. What are we going to call this? And yeah, why don't we dive right into the second one here? Or actually, let me show you some of the parts again for this Pac-Man cabaret. We've got our monitor right here. This is a 13-inch Vision Pro, so you know, a later monitor, and it says it passed QA right there. It'll focus in May of 2002. Yep, HAP Vision Pro, and it's filthy. Pulled out of a barn. This is sort of just loose, hanging out inside the cabinet, like not mounted, just chilling. We have some pack burn right there. I would say maybe moderate, and there's 2 layers of burn. You can see the high score is there twice, so it got moved. The vertical or the horizontal width or whatever got adjusted at some point, so that's all right. We also have the shroud. We don't have the smoked plexi, but I probably got a spare one somewhere. And this is the PCB that was in this cabinet. I'm assuming this is JAMA, especially because there was a JAMA adapter in there. There's gunk on those EEPROM windows. This is something speed up. It says JY-PAC1, designed by Anonymous. And I don't know what this board is all about, but maybe we'll plug it into a JAMA harness and see what's going on. So coming back over here with the second Pac-Man Mini, this one is in much nicer shape. So coming from top to bottom, I think it's essentially complete. The plexi did shift in transit a little bit, but everything is here and everything looks relatively good. The coin door is in better shape, except one of them is sort of, one of the coin reject knobs is punched in. We have 1 coin mech here. We do have our coin counter. This also has a count in excess of 100,000, so 105,644. Professor Pac-Man will do the math for us again. We've got a coin box in here, which is great. I guess that's the other coin mech that was missing. We have our test switch right there. We have our PCB, and that is a legit Pac-Man PCB, but more details to come on that. So, yeah, nothing too interesting going on right there. We'll come around to the back of the cabinet, And we'll get this back door off. Let me put you on the tripod real quick. All right, and now the back of Pac-Man Mini number 2. The back door is just held on with a piece of painter's tape. A lot of painter's tape today, but it's nice and snug on, so that's good. This will come right off. Super lightweight, very easy to lose. I gave the first seller my, he's got my contact info in case the back door ever shows up, because, yeah, I want to get that bubble to protect the monitor. And as you can see, this is why that bubble exists. This whole thing sticks out. It's as long as the flashlight is. This is a G07 FBO from March of '81. We have a manufacturing tag that says Pac or PM for Pac-Man, Min for Mini, number 5686. And yeah, 5686 is what we have etched into the cabinet at the top. This is actually really not bad. We've got the dip switch sheet. We've got a quarter in the bottom. What else? Oh, 3/4. All right. We've got our transformer assembly and our power switch or power cord, which I believe is original. This thing is really in pretty original shape, not touched. Looks like the monitor grounding wire got pulled, and we have the interlock switch. And here is our PCB. And let me bring you in here for you to take a look at what's going on here. Because from the listing, I could tell something was weird. This was actually in the listing shown working, but it was actually playing Ms. Pac-Man, not Pac-Man. And this is a Pac-Man board. It says Pac-Man right there. I don't know if you're going to be able to make that out on the PCB. Yeah, it's working. And usually for Ms. Pac-Man, there's a little daughter board mounted over here that sticks out, but that's not here. And so this has some kind of ROM hack or something to allow it to play Ms. Pac-Man. And I guess there's a bunch of different ways of doing that. This has, I don't know if it's going to show up, a fair amount of bodge wires on the back side of the PCB, which I'm not sure if that's normal for Pac-Man or what. But yeah, look at that. And this is working, allegedly. So why don't we get set up to power it up? And it's funny. I know you want to talk about it. Everyone's probably saying, "Wow, Charlie, it took you so long to finally get a Pac-Man." These are games 57, 58, and 59 that I've owned. You've never owned a Pac-Man before. Well, actually, I do have a Pac-Man buried back here somewhere in the sea of games, many of which that have not been unveiled yet. So yeah, I've actually got a upright Pac-Man back there. So these are Pac-Man number 2 and 3 for me, if you don't count like class of '81 type of stuff. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna get all this plugged in, and we'll get set to fire up and hopefully play a little bit of whatever ROM hacked Miss Pac-Man in this Pac-Man Mini. Okay, we're all set to test the known working Pac-Man Mini, the one that I saw working. We'll see what's going on with this board. I also thought about using this cabinet to test the bootleg PCB that I got from the other Pac-Man Mini, figuring maybe I would use the Arcade Shop JAMA to Pac cabinet adapter, but that's got a bunch of additional wires on it. Like, it looks like it's meant to grab power off of a switching power supply, which is not what we have in this one, so we'll have to figure out some other way to test that PCB. So here we go. I am plugging in this cabinet, which does not have a ground plug. Fantastic. So it's plugged in, and the power switch has been pressed, and let's pull the interlock. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it can't be pulled out. All right, let me turn off the power. Let me put the back door back in place to engage that interlock, or the interlock switch. All right, back door is taped on in place. Here we go. Throw on the switch. 3, 2, 1. Something's working. The marquee bulbs are out, and we have an image on the monitor. Let's see if we can come in and take a closer look. We've got definitely a bit of a wave that we'll have to address at some point. But look at that. It says Ms. Pac-Man. All right, let me see if I can start a game. It's not on free play. Coined up. You can hear the sound, but it's very quiet. Is there a way to turn it up? Volume. Where's volume on Pac-Man? Ooh, it's all garbled. But it's there. Ooh, and it just reset. Okay. It's not happy right now. Ooh, that's not good. Just rebooted. Let me try reseating the edge connector real quick. Okay, I reseated the edge connector. Here we go. Sounds better. It's better already. All right, and this is the fast version of Ms. Pac-Man. Look at that. So some sort of ROM hack with the board to allow it to play fast Ms. Pac instead of normal Pac-Man without any, you know, daughter card or anything. So I don't know. I'm sure this hack is documented somewhere, so we'll leave it there. But yeah, monitor needs to be rebuilt. We got to figure out what to do with the PCB, but this will actually clean up really, really nice. So yeah, let's move on to the Rastan cabinet. Okay, like I mentioned, I'm really very curious to figure out what's going on with this bootleg Pac PCB that was in this barn find Pac-Man Mini. And I'm pretty sure it's JAMA, although the edge connector is not keyed. So what I did was I disconnected the edge connector from the Rastan PCB inside of this converted Zaxxon cabinet. And I pulled the little key piece, plastic piece, out of the edge connector and plugged it into the Pac PCB. So we should be good to try this out. I've got it plugged in. I should just be able to throw this power switch jury-rigged right here. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whoops. There, it goes in that direction. Look at that. Marquee light is on. And the fan is going like crazy. I don't see any LEDs on the board. Look at that. We have something on this screen. Okay. Kind of washed out, kind of crazy. And it says Ms. Pac-Man. Another Ms. Pac PCB. Bootleg, of course. And this looks a lot better in person than it does on camera. Let me see if I can adjust some camera settings real quick. All right, that's a little bit better. Still not quite right. I don't want to make any adjustments because it's really set for Rastan, and it looked better in person. Let me see if I can start it. No, it's not on. It's not on free play. Let me see if I can add a credit with our weirdo switch on the front of the cabinet. Okay, that's adding. Oh, and it started, I think. Okay. Yep. No sound. There we go, down. All right, so it's working. It's playing Ms. Pac-Man. Is that fast? Yeah, that seems fast, right? Okay. So we've got a working board, no sound, but maybe we can figure that out. So yeah, working Ms. Pac bootleg board. Again, it says, the only markings on it says JY-PAC1. So let me know if you know what's up with that. Otherwise, I'll switch this back to Rastan and we'll play a little bit of Rastan to wrap things up. Okay, I've got the Rastan PCB or Rastan, whatever. I'm probably saying it differently every time. Got it reinstalled, ready to go. Plugged back in, it's all set up. So I think we can just fire this switch and light this bad boy up. 3, 2, 1. You might not be able to hear, but that fan is going. The marquee light lights up, no problem. And show me Rastan. There we go, look at that. That monitor looks pretty darn good. Like I said, it looks great in person. I don't know what was going on with that bootleg Pac PCB, but let's get right up in here and we'll play a little bit of Rastan. Let's see. Okay, how about right there? How's that? That looks pretty good. Let me turn off the house lights. And I don't know if you noticed, there was a little bit of burn on the tube. Looks like On the horizontal axis, we had Rastan burn, which is not surprising at all. But on the vertical axis, there was some Zaxxon burn. I could see the enemy ships, whatever, text at the bottom. So I'm just getting set up here in a chair without bumping the camera. Got a little bit of water to drink. We'll play some Rastan. I really have not spent a ton of time with this game. I might have it for the Master System. I'm not sure. I think that was the primary console release, at least in the US. But essentially you play as this barbarian guy, and there's bad guys. And you go right and you kill them. Not much of a story, I don't think. I did a little bit of research. Look, that swinging rope reminds me of Jungle King, which is not surprising seeing as this is a Tighe game and so is Jungle King. Did a little bit of research. Apparently overseas, Rastan is referred to as Rastan Saga, and there's a lot more of a story behind it or whatever, but we don't get a story. This is the whole story that we get. Used to be, it goes so fast you can't even read it. It's just going super fast through this attract mode, and now we have all these weapons. I don't know, maybe I can get the fire sword. The monitor needs a little bit of adjusting. I probably could use a cap kit and some adjustments, and it looks a little blurry on camera. It looks better in person. I think it's just the bezel's a bit dirty, so sorry about that. But anyway, without further ado, why don't we coin up? So I'm going to hit the credit switch, which is that interlock switch. There we go. One player. I guess it's only a one-player game. Or no, there is a second player, but I need more credits. And here we go. Let's press start. Okay. Hopefully you can hear the music a little bit. And here we go. Ooh, I already got hit. Blue crystal. Okay. What's funny to me is, when you swing your weapon while moving, it doesn't affect your speed. You don't slow down while you're hitting. Is there a time limit? There we go. I want this. There we go. Got a battle axe now. I think my health is getting low. And this is a game where you can, oh man. You can just keep continuing. So we'll play this for a little bit. Try to at least clear the first level. I don't know what these crystals do. Maybe I should have been paying attention in a track mode. All right. Okay. I do know that you want to get as many weapons as possible. Look at that physique. Guy's ripped. All right. I am not doing so hot. Oh man, touched me while I was on the rope. Is there a checkpoint? No, okay. Let's do this. So yeah, I gotta figure out what to do with that second pack cabaret. Oh man. One of them I will, keep and restore. Keep getting hit. The other one I gotta do something with, and I do know that channel member Frog Puppet has expressed interest in getting a pack cabaret at some point, so. And he's down in, oh man. Add a credit, start up, okay. I guess I keep my score, that's kind of funny. And he's down in southern Georgia, so I think hopefully he's doing okay with Hurricane Helene. We did hear from him that looks like everything's okay. No damage to his collection or property or anything like that, and everyone's safe, which is great. Yeah, so maybe we'll find some sort of way to get this to him. I always try to do good things for my channel members because they're, so gracious as to support the channel. And if you're interested in becoming a channel member, click that join button down below. Now is a great time. It's never been a better time to become a channel member. You know, basically you donate $1.99 a month to the channel, which is really, you know, which is really cheap in the grand scheme of things. You know, think about how much amazing, incredible entertainment you get from this channel for free. So for $1.99 a month, you get to support the channel, and you also get early access, or you get access to a bunch of awesome perks, including early access to all new videos, a monthly members only live stream. We just did ours the other day for September. Man, September's going fast. Get early access to all new videos, or you know, you get to watch them on Saturday. Like this video was released on, I need to pay attention, on Saturday for channel members, and you know, ahead of the public release on Sunday. So if you're not a channel member, you're probably watching this on Sunday, if not later. Okay. I can't talk and play at the same time. Oh, and I got hit. And you get the really awesome thing that I think people appreciate the most is you get access to our private members-only Discord. So this is a private Discord server exclusively for Overtime Arcade channel members. Discord is kind of like a forum. It's kind of like a old-school chat room. Credit anything up, playing again. And we have a ton of fun. We've got about 100 channel members. The Discord is super active. People are constantly talking about, you know, what they're fixing, what they're playing, what they're picking up. We're sharing deals. You know, I give a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff of what's going on. I actually found the Rastan, this game, I found by a channel member. I think it might have been Random Pixelated Billy Bob. He does a really good job, and I bought a couple of games that he's found on Facebook Marketplace. Oh man, the button configuration gets me mixed up too. We got to get to the second level. So anyway, it's a ton of fun. Everyone loves it. Super active. So click that join button down below to learn more about what it means to become an Overtime Arcade channel member. Again, $1.99 a month. And I do know, you know, some people don't like the recurring fee. You know, they've got enough subscriptions in their life. And I totally get that. You know, so there's a couple other ways to help me out if you want to support the channel. You can do a super thanks donation. It's kind of like a super chat that you might see in live streams, except it's for, you know, not a live stream for a regular video. You can do a super thanks donation. That's always appreciated, and I'll definitely respond and, you know, answer any question you might have in the super thanks, that sort of thing. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. Another way to help out, you can buy some merch. So I've got an official merchandise shop with hats and t-shirts. I've got hoodies. You know, it's starting to get a little cooler, depending on where you are in the world or in the country. Oh, man. So you might want to buy a t-shirt or a hat or a hoodie to keep you warm. And I really, this game, is this supposed to be this hard? Or am I just terrible? So there's a link down below. I think it says store. There might even be some pictures of some of my merch. If you're interested in buying something, that'd be great. You know, but again, totally unnecessary. Just watching this video, being a subscriber, leaving a comment, leaving a like really helps. Oh man. I can't play this game and talk at the same time. Hitting that like button really honestly helps me out. It tells YouTube to recommend this video to people who are just like you by telling YouTube that you did end up actually liking this video. Now a moth is trying to distract me on the screen. Oh man. Oh gosh. So maybe you want to buy some merch, but let me focus here. Really see what's going on. I'm doing this with sort of the camera in the way because I want you guys to be able to see. Oh man. I've got my right hand on the joystick and my left hand on the controls, which is sort of, I think, screwing me up too. The buttons are sort of backwards. I know, I'm making a ton of excuses. Was that health? Did I get that in time? Shoot. I'm sorry, Tighe. You're probably embarrassed for me right now. I'm really going to try to get to this second board to at least show you guys what it's all about. What do the blue crystals do? Is it like magic? Okay. All right, let's see. All right. All right, give me some health. Ooh, I think I wanted to go up there. Maybe I can't anymore. Darn. All right. Ooh, we got new enemies. And I get hit by a rock. Is there a checkpoint? Yes, okay. Thank goodness, we got a checkpoint. We lost our battle axe though. Oh, what's that? I don't even know. Again, I should have paid attention to the... All right, I'm gonna try to grab that. Is that a flaming sword right there? Oh no, do I have to hit it? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try to get that flaming sword. I probably should have watched some gameplay. So do I have to like hit it? And I'm dead. Oh, because a rock. Am I not allowed to continue? Oh my goodness. Okay, well I'm on the high score table. Oh, there is. Oh, okay. Okay. Am I at the checkpoint? Yeah, okay. I want to get that flaming sword. All right. And I think if a boulder hits me, I'm totally dead, so I can't let that happen. All right. All right, I got a flaming sword. Look at that. Ooh. Ooh, range attack. All right. All right, let me... Okay. All right. Is that... Oh, no! Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. You guys are probably getting tired of this. I'm having fun, though. This game is actually pretty good. I gotta admit, Tighe. I'll never doubt you again, buddy. Okay. Okay. All right, there's got to be guys over here, right? Oof. What's this? Oh man. All right, I gotta use up my lives here. I'm still on the first level. Just I get hit so many times. All right, that's not good. I thought I had lost all my lives. Am I like getting a? Am I like earning a new life somehow? Okay, I think that's it. I think we'll wrap it up here. That was enough. We'll turn the house lights back on. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna have to spend more time with Rastan, whatever it is. Rastan, who knows? But yeah, I think we will wrap up that video right here. As always, thanks for watching Overtime Arcade. I'm Charlie, and I'll see you next time.
Overtime!